Hey, what's up, guys? We are live. We got a lot to talk about. Somewhat limited time here, about 40 minutes. Let me just tweet out my player pool um, for tonight, and then we can get into it. All right. So let's go over what we know. So let's go over to Fantasy Labs really quick. There's a lot of games, 12 games. So there is a lot of news to kind of talk about here. Let's see, where's the start of the day? Okay. Ben Simmons was put on the injury report, but only for illness. Looks like he's going to be good to go. Again, Josh Richardson is doubtful. We got the news that Cody Zeller is going to be out, so Bismack Biyombo becomes one of the better value plays of the day. Clint Capella, that's for Saturday, okay. It's also Saturday. Let's see. We don't have a whole lot of news. Tomas and Rancy, that's somewhat big. He's listed as questionable. If he misses, Kobe White and Chris Dunn become really solid value plays. Aaron Gordon will start. Cody Zeller again ruled out. Bismack Biyombo starting for him. Aaron Gordon will have the minutes limit, so I don't think we can target him there. Josh Richardson still doubtful. Ben Simmons will play. Let's see. And that's kind of it for kind of course mod starting for Josh Richardson. But that's about all we got. So let's go game by game here. We got 12 games. Again, we got a lot to talk about. Then we'll get to questions at the end. If you guys are enjoying the content, would appreciate if you could hit that like button. It really helps me out. But let's start with Toronto, Orlando here. So on the Toronto side, it's pretty simple for me. Siakam and Fred VanVleet at the top. Both these guys play, about 40 minutes a night in close games. It's not necessarily the best spot here, but both are a bit underpriced. And then don't mind Chris Boucher here at 3.9K. He's been getting some decent run. Now, the game against the Knicks did blow out, so wouldn't expect 25 minutes again. But he's been getting about 15 or so, and he can definitely get you there in that time at 3.9K. So don't hate him. He's a little bit riskier just because he's not going to play huge minutes, but I think he is in play at that price. And that's really all I'm considering here on the Toronto side. It's really Siakam and Fred VanVleet at the top. It's Boucher as a riskier value play. And that's about it. Ibaka, again, I think he just got ruled out. Yeah, is out. So that's it for the Toronto side. Let's move on to Orlando. Orlando, not a whole lot I'm interested in here, to be honest. It's a tough spot. Like Aaron Gordon coming back definitely takes away those other value guys. He's going to be limited himself. I don't think we can go there. It's just, honestly, I think it's a stay away. On a 12-game slate, I don't think we have to do it. So let's move on to Charlotte, Detroit. Charlotte, there's a few things to like here. Obviously, Bismack Biyombo going to be the ultimate chalk here. Started in that last game, played 34 minutes, got 35 fantasy points. Don't know if we can expect him to play that many minutes and be that productive again, but I think he's the top value player of the slate with no Cody Zeller. Again, Detroit runs big. They do have other options, like they have Marvin Williams they can use. They have Hernan Gomez that got a little bit of run that last game, but Biyombo is their main guy. So I think he's definitely probably the top value play of the slate. He's going to be really chalky. Don't mind Rozier or Graham. Both these guys are going to play mid-30s minutes in a close game. Devontae Graham has had a big night in that last game against Detroit. Rozier is fine too. Both these guys, again, we know the minutes are basically secure for these guys. But that's about it for Charlotte. So move on to Detroit. On the Detroit side, honestly, not a whole lot. I mean, Drummond and Blake are okay. It's a good spot. Drummond got, I think, 50 fantasy points that last game. Yeah, 52. If you want to go there, you can. Again, I prefer other spend-ups. Blake Griffin, just okay. Again, I'm not super high on these guys, but I get it if you want to go there. And then the secondary pieces are guys I really only target when one of those main guys are out. So don't think we have to go there with the secondary pieces. That's really it. On the Philly side, there is a good amount to like here. With no Al Horford and no Josh Richardson, there's a lot of minutes and usage to ground. Obviously, the big three here with Embiid, Ben Simmons, and Tobias Harris seem very, very viable. All are pretty appealing plays, in my opinion. The value guys like Furkan Korkmaz is okay at 3.3K. Going to start. Again, he's very scoring dependent. So if you want to go there, I get it, but he's a riskier play for sure. I don't think they've announced the other starter, but again, that will be something we'll have to monitor. But yeah, like I said, Embiid, Ben Simmons, Tobias, I really like those plays. I think you can definitely play one, maybe even two in your lineup. So it's a good spot. There's no Horford, no Josh Richardson, so I do like those main guys a lot here for Philly. On the New York side, honestly, it's a pass for me. Like Randall, Morris, Barrett are the big three, but in a tough spot against Philly. I don't think we have to go there on this slate. Mitchell Robinson and Bobby Portis are interesting as GPP targets off the bench. Both are going to play, around 20 minutes, maybe a little bit more if they're playing well. Again, Mitchell Robinson got 31 the last game, so these are guys I think are viable, but they are a bit risky just because, again, David Fizdale is their coach. On the Milwaukee-Cleveland side, it's kind of a pass for me. I mean, if you want to go Giannis, if you want to go pay $12K for him, I get it. It's a really good spot. I'm really worried about the blowout and him only playing 3 quarters. And I like, Luka Doncic at a similar price point to Giannis. So if you want to go Giannis, you can. Again, I'm going to go Luka. I like the competitive game in that one, the higher over-under. So that's my kind of my thoughts on Giannis. If Cleveland can somehow keep this game close, like Giannis could have a big game. The secondary pieces with everyone healthy, it's a complete fade for me. On the Cavs side, not a whole lot either I'm interested in with everyone healthy. I mean, Love at 7.1K if you want to buy low, but he's been really bad. 12-game slate, probably not for me. So that's pretty simple. We'll move on to Golden State, Miami. On the Golden State side, Draymond Green in his first game back only played 24 minutes. That is slightly concerning. Right? I would like it if he was playing in those mid-30s minutes. So I don't know. I didn't watch that game at all. I don't know if that was for foul trouble or they just limited his minutes, but I think if he's not going to be limited, he's a pretty solid play. But again, only played 24 minutes. The other pieces like Bowman, Burks, I think are viable. Burks has been very, very up and down, right? 23, 40, 17, 48 fantasy points. So he's very up and down, but he does have the upside. It's a tougher spot, so I think he's worth consideration. But again, only for GPPs in my opinion. The other Golden State options are just okay, like Chris, Glenn Robinson. Spellman had a big game, but I don't think we can expect that level of production to continue for him. So it's just all the other guys are just okay. Don't feel great about them, and that's kind of it for Golden State. On the Miami side, we do have Jimmy Butler. Looks like he's going to be good to go, so that takes a hit to those secondary pieces I was talking about. Kind of makes them out of play, in my opinion. I think maybe one of those guys will have a good game, but trying to just decide who will be is a little tough. Jimmy himself is in a really good spot here at 8.3. The concern is, can Golden State keep this game close? There's obviously some blowout risk here, but I do like Jimmy in that spot. Same with Bam here at 8K. We want to target bigs against Golden State. Played 40 minutes in the last game against Houston, so I do like him a decent amount in a good spot. Again, the secondary options, if you want to go with one of those guys, you can. I just don't feel great about it now with Jimmy healthy, like Olynyk, Winslow, Nunn, Dragic, Hero. I think one, maybe two of those guys have a good game, but trying to decide which one it'll be is a little tough. So I'm going to pass as far as, a guy that's making one lineup. Atlanta, Indy, and the Pacers. Not a whole lot to like here on the Atlanta side. It's Trae Young with GPPs. It's Jabari Parker as a solid mid-range play, right? He had a really good game the last game against Milwaukee. Don't think we can expect that again, 64 fantasy points, but he does have the upside, so I think he's playable there in the mid-range, and that's it. I don't want to target the cheap guys here in the slate. So it's Trae Young, it's Jabari, and that's it. On the Pacers side, it's a bonus for me at 7.9K in a pretty good spot. He has the upside. He's going to play mid-30s minutes in a close game, so I do like the price on him. I do like the matchup. I think he's a very solid mid-tier play. Brogdon, you can go there as well. It's just I think he's priced about right now, right? He wasn't the value like he was the last couple games, so Brogdon's okay. Sabonis, I do like a good amount. That's kind of it. Like Lamb, Turner, T.J. Warren. I think those guys are viable, but don't stand out as great plays in my opinion. Let's move on to the Pelicans and OKC. On the Pelicans side, still no Lonzo Ball, still no Derek Favors. So Drew Holiday, Brandon Ingram are their go-to guys. It's a slightly tougher matchup, but these guys have flash upside. Now, Brandon Ingram had a really bad game against the Lakers in 40 minutes, shot the ball 4 of 21, still put up 42 fantasy points. Drew Holiday had like over 60. So these are the two main guys I want to target at discounted price tags. I still like them. The secondary pieces, probably not for me. Right, we got Okafor healthy, so now there's 3 bigs in the rotations, like Ejuan Moore, Josh Hart. I think there's better plays. So it's the main 2 guys for the Pelicans, and that's it. On the OKC side, this is always a tough team to predict because they're kind of balanced. No one ever stands out as a great play. Like the starters, Chris Paul, Gallinari, SGA, Adams, Schroeder off the bench, I think are all in play. It's a really, really good spot. So I think like 1 or 2 of these guys can have a pretty big game. But again, they're kind of share the wealth evenly. No one stands out as a great play. I think they're all pretty solid in a good spot. I think 1 or 2 of these guys can have a big game. So, like I said, no one really sticks off the page as a really good play, but I think 1 or 2 of those guys could have a big night. Again, Schroeder off the bench is more GPP viable. Steven Adams, the price is coming up, but it's a good spot. So, yeah, the Pelicans as a general, I think the team is they're definitely playable, but no one really sticks off as a really, really good play. If we move on to Utah and Memphis, this is a pretty good spot for the Utah side. So it's those main two guys with Gobert and Donovan Mitchell that I really have interest in. Donovan Mitchell, we know he has 40, 50 fantasy point upside. Same thing with Gobert. So those would be the two guys I would look to on the Utah side. Everyone else is a very, very balanced team, so no one sticks off as a great play. So it's really those top two guys on the Jazz, and that's kind of it for me. On the Memphis side, in a really tough spot, I think it's two guys as well, but I don't feel great about it. Ja Morant, just because the minutes are there for him right now. He's playing mid-30s minutes. Again, it's a really tough spot, but I think he's viable because of how many minutes he's playing. And same thing with Jonas Valanciunas, right? He's been a bit up and down, but just flashed the upside there, 60 fantasy points. Utah runs big. I think he matched up better here against the Jazz. So still in a tough spot. I think JV is playable, but that's kind of it for the Memphis side. Don't really want to target those secondary pieces. Clippers, Spurs. So the Clippers in general, this is a really good spot for them. Kawhi, Paul George, Lou Williams. Montrezl Harrell, no issue with any of these guys. I think my favorite play would be Montrez just because the price is the cheapest of the four. Again, there's a lot of mouths to feed when this team is healthy. So if you want to go with one of these four guys, you definitely can. My preference would be Montrez because he's the lowest price guy. But yeah, like I said, the downside of these guys is just there's so much mouths to feed, and there's always potential blowout because the Clippers are such a good team. The value guys like Pat Bev and JaMychal Green are okay. Even Zubac is a guy that can get you there in limited time. But that's kind of my thoughts for the Clippers, I think. All of them are solid plays. I think Montrez would probably be my favorite because of that price. If we move on to the Spurs, DeRozan and Aldridge seem a little bit underpriced. DeRozan has been really solid here, but it's a tough matchup, right? 41, 38, 38, and 41 fantasy points the last 4 games. But this is probably the toughest matchup you can get. The price is playable, but again, the tough matchup. Same thing with Aldridge. He's been playing really consistent minutes. Him and DeRozan, I think, are a little bit underpriced, but again, you're getting a tough matchup here with the Clippers. The secondary pieces, it's kind of a pass for me. I mean, DeJounte Murray is always a guy you can look to for GPPs, but that's about it. Dallas Phoenix, so this is a game where I want a lot of pieces too. I think this one is sitting at 234 over under. It's going to be a close game. Again, Phoenix defense was good to start, not so good now. So yeah, I do want some pieces of this one. Doncic at the top is probably my favorite, like spend up at 11.8K. No, he's expensive, but no one on Phoenix can stay with him. And he's a guy that, again, fills up the stat sheet. So I do like Luka a good amount as a spend up. I like Porzingis at a discounted price here. He's going to play low to mid 30s minutes in a close game. I think he's still slightly underpriced. I actually kind of like THJ as well. Now, my concern with him is he's very scoring dependent, but the minutes have been there for him. The game against Houston played 38. The last game against the Clippers only played 29, but it did blow out. He was on pace to get over 30 minutes. This is a good spot, right? Up-tempo game. So the concern with him, again, is he's scoring dependent, but I think he'll probably play 32 minutes in a close game, so I kind of like him there at that price. Other options, probably not for me. JJ Barea is intriguing. He got into the rotation that last game in 16 minutes, got 19 fantasy points. He is a guy that can definitely get you there in limited time, but I don't know if he's going to be a regular part of this rotation, right? Those first 2 games he played in were complete blowouts, so it's a little risky with him because you just don't know if he's going to be in the rotation. Now, if he's going to continue to be in the rotation, then I would like him, but I think there's a chance he doesn't even see the court, so that's always something to consider. I think JJ Barea is worth a shot for GPPs because if he gets that court time, right, if he gets 15 to 20 minutes, he can crush that 3.2K salary. So take that in consideration if you're making multiple lineups. On the Phoenix side, it's Devin Booker at the top at 7.9K. It's a pretty good spot here. Rubio got limited in that last game, so if Rubio gets limited again, that's obviously a boost to Devin Booker because his assists go up. He does have the upside. The price is down on him. It's a good spot, so I do like Devin Booker. Oubre's okay, but I prefer Devin Booker. Rubio is interesting if he's not going to be limited, right? Only played 25 minutes in that first game back. So if he gets his regular minutes, like into the 30s, then I would like him a good amount, but I don't know if we're going to get that type of news before lock. So he's a bit riskier because we don't know what the minutes are going to be like. With Baines back in town now, list is probable. That definitely takes Saric, Kaminsky, Diallo kind of out of play, so I don't really want to target the bigs on this slate, and that's really it. Chicago, Portland, there is a couple interesting plays here. So Levine at the top at 7K has had, a 60 fantasy point, almost 260 fantasy point games in the last 3, so he's heating up. He's a guy that we know can shoot the ball a ton. It's a decent spot. He's a bit up and down, but at this price right now, I do like his upside, so I do have a decent amount of interest there at Levine at 7K. Wendell Carter Jr. Markin are okay, but again, I would prefer Levine. I like his upside more. And then we have Stan Ramsey is listed as questionable. He was downgraded to questionable too, so that's pretty big. If he misses, then that's a boost to Levine. Also, Kobe White and Chris Dunn become very, very viable. Chris Dunn at 5K, Chris Dunn, I should say, at 3.7K would be very, very good value play. So hopefully we get that news somewhat soon, because if Stan Ramsey's out, Kobe White and Chris Dunn would be some of my favorite value plays. And again, that would be a boost to Zach LaVine. On the Portland side, it's a decent spot here. I mean, I would have liked to play Whiteside, but they raised his price to 8K. I don't know if there's enough meat in the bone there. Lillard is probably my preferred guard play there at 8.72 CJ. I think the upside's a little bit higher on him, so don't hate Lillard. And that's kind of it. Like Melo at 6.2K, don't think I want to pay that. The value guys, I think there's better value plays in the slate. Last game here, Washington and LA. At the top is Beal. It's just a contrarian play. Not going to feel great about it for making one lineup. Thomas Bryant's interesting because the Lakers run big, but they do also have Mo Wagner they can use. Again, Mo Wagner himself, it's a revenge game of 4.7K. You just don't know what the minutes are going to be like. Don't hate him as a value play. But again, the minutes are up and down. McRae's price is up. Don't know if I want to go there. I think my preferred play here would be Isaiah Thomas, actually, at 4.2K. He's a guy that's probably going to get mid-20s minutes, and we know he has the upside. At this price, I do kind of like him there. So, yeah, I do like Isaiah, even in a tough spot there at 4.2K. And that's kind of it for the Wizards. So let's move on to the Lakers here. The Lakers, it's LeBron and Anthony Davis. I think I would definitely prefer Anthony Davis for 1.2K less. Again, really, really good spot here. The concern is, can Washington keep this game close? If you think they can, I think LeBron or AD or even both could have a big game. Rondo is more of a GPP play because the minutes have been up and down, right? If he's not playing well, they will kind of limit his minutes. If he is, he can probably get you 30 fantasy points. So he's someone only for GPPs. Dwight Howard, it's just a price thing with him, 3.9K. Now, I know he's not going to play huge minutes, but he's a guy that will probably get around 20. It is a revenge game, too. And, yeah, at a slate that somewhat lacks some value plays, I think Dwight is in play there at 3.9K. But that's about it. Let me take a swig of water here. We can check some news, and then we can get to questions. Again, if you guys are interested, I did tweet my player pool before lock on my Twitter. Let's see if we got any more news here. Ed Davis will play. That's not really big. Chris Middleton off the bench. Okay. Furkan starting for Josh Richardson. And that's about it. So let's get to some questions here. Again, if you guys are enjoying this content, would really appreciate if you could hit that like button. But yeah, is AD going to be chalky? I think he'll be pretty popular. I don't know how chalky, but I think he's going to be one of the more popular spend ups for sure. Let's see. Which one would you get to? Levine, Lamb, Devontae, or SGA? I think it's either Levine or Devontae there, and it's close. It's really close with those guys. I think Levine is more the GPP play because he has flashed the huge upside, but also with the somewhat low floor. I think Devontae Graham would probably be the cash game play there in that scenario. Thomas is a bad play. I don't think IT is a bad play. I know he's been getting outplayed, but he's the guy that can get you there in like 20 to 25 minutes. 4.2K is viable. I mean, if you want to go Ish, you can. Ish is very much viable too. I would slightly prefer Isaiah Thomas. In my opinion, I think he has a little bit more upside. But if you want to go Ish Smith there off the bench, you definitely can. And he's had some good games as well. So, yeah, Ish, Isaiah, I think one of those guys will have a pretty big game. What do you think about Bazemore, 3.2K? Let's see. How many minutes? He's been kind of limited in the minutes department. Did play 23 and 21 the last two. Yeah, at that price, I don't mind it, actually. He really doesn't have to do a whole lot to get you there, so I don't hate that play. Ingram or Sabonis? That's really close. I think the upside is a little bit higher with Ingram. I think Sabonis is probably the safer play. So Ingram for GPP, Sabonis for cash. Thomas dropped 40 DK points last game. Dude is awful. Hey, I mean, I think that wasn't the last game, was it? Because he had a decent game before that. Yeah, he had 24 fantasy points in 25 minutes the game before. So, yeah, there's obviously a little bit of risk, but at that price, it doesn't have to do a whole lot. Do you like Biyombo? Yes, I think Biyombo is probably the best value play on the day, in my opinion. This line, Drew, Levine, TH, Sabonis, Mitchell, or AD Burks. I think I'd go Sabonis, Mitchell, but that's close. And also, you know my love for Sabonis. It's hard for me to say no to Sabonis. So I'm going to go Sabonis Mitchell, but I do like both options. How many minutes are expected for Myers Leonard? Not a whole lot, right? He's been playing about 15 minutes a night, I think. So I just don't think I would go there on this slate. Let's see. 3.1. Yeah, I mean, about 15. Drew, Levine, THJ, Siakam, Embiid, White, PJ Washington, Biyombo. Yeah, I guess I'm not super high in PJ Washington because his minutes have been kind of all over the place. What did he get last time? 4.3K. Yeah, that's an okay play. Let's see. What do you think about Fultz? With Aaron Gordon back, probably not for me. The Magic is just never a team I like getting to. It's a tough spot, too. He has played, the minutes have been up on him, right? 26, 29, 30, and 28. But at 5.5K, I just think he's priced about right. Ingram or Drew? That's a really close call. I guess go with whatever works better for you in your lineup. Like Ingram's small forward, Drew's point guard or shooting guard. So I think that's basically a coin flip for me. I like both those guys. Aldridge, Zubac, or Rudy Gay, Montrez. I'd probably go Aldridge, Zubac there. I'm not super high on Rudy Gay. Paul George or Kawhi, who will get more fantasy points. I mean, that's a close call with those guys. Between those two, I'll slightly give the edge to Kawhi. How highly owned is Korkmaz? I think it'll be somewhat high owned. And I'm a little bit scared of fading him, but he's very scoring dependent. So what is he at? 3.2. I think he probably gets 25 or so minutes. And yeah, he's definitely playable for sure as a value guy. Is Mitchell fine for cash? At that price, 7.8. He's not my favorite play, but I think he's fine for cash. Who is a good play around 4.3K for forward? Let's see. 4.3. Yeah. I mean, I don't like a lot in this range, so I wouldn't feel comfortable about really anything. Yeah, because I wouldn't mind taking a shot like Boucher is a value guy there, but he's a bit risky. There's not a whole lot to be confident about in that range, 4.3K and below. And JaMychal Green, but Kawhi's going to be back. I think his minutes are limited. Connaughton, but Middleton's back, so there's not a whole lot I like in that range. Section Warren looked good. Is this not? Is this for now? What 7:30 slate? This slate locks at 7, right? Yeah, I'm almost positive. Thibault 3K with Richardson out if he starts. Has that starting lineup been announced yet? I don't think I've seen that for Philly. No, I haven't seen the 76ers starting lineup yet. What time does that game start? Okay, 76ers starts 7:30, so we should have that news somewhat soon. But yeah, whoever else starts with that starting unit is definitely viable. Again, Furkan is perfectly fine there, 3.2K. Graham Ingram or Drew Jabari. I'll go Graham Ingram there. I might run this: Drew, Mitchell, Tobias, Sabonis, Embiid, Korkmaz, Boucher, Biyombo. Yeah, I like that. Boucher is, I don't know if I would say he's cash game playable, just because I think he only gets 15 minutes or so in a close game, but he's a guy that is usually pretty productive in that time. So Aaron Gordon, a good play at 5.6. Probably not for me. They said they're going to limit his minutes. Ja or CP3? CP3 is the much better matchup, but I might go Ja there. Even in a really, really bad matchup, he's been playing really good, and the price is playable for a guy that's going to play mid-30s minutes. So I'll take Ja, even in a tough spot. Simmons or Butler? I'm going to go Ben Simmons there. Yeah, with Horford and with Josh Richardson out, I'm going to go Ben Simmons. Washington Wizard beat writer value, or Washington Wizard best value play. I think it's Isaiah or Ish Smith, whichever one you feel more comfortable with. For cash games, yeah. Maybe go CP3 then, but I like the upside more with Ja Morant. Korkmaz is starting, yeah, so he's the guy that's definitely playable, 3.2. Okay. Gay starting, Rudy Gay starting. Let's see. Yeah, I think he's starting because they need his defense out there to guard either Kawhi or uh, Paul George. So Rudy Gay is, let's see where he's at. He's at 4.8. I think the minutes for him probably gets mid 20s. I think mid 20s to 30 minutes. So at 4.8K, yeah, he's playable now for sure. I wouldn't say he's like a great value play, but I think that is a boost to him for sure. Kawhi, kind of interesting. Yeah, the concern with those guys is there's a lot of mouths to feed, but I have no issue if you want to go there. Scott, greater than Thibault. We'll see who Philadelphia starts. Yeah, like if Mike Scott starts at 3.6K, I think he's okay. Thibault at 3K. Both these guys are low usage guys. I think I like the upside a little bit more on Thibault, but yeah, we'll see who they end up starting at Furkan if you want to go there as a value guy. But I really feel most confident, obviously, in the big three there, Tobias, Ben Simmons, and Embiid. I like those plays all a good amount. Do you show your lineup? I don't. I'll go over ownership on the guys I do have in the early game, but that's about it. Minutes for Rudy Gay. I think he gets 25 to 30 minutes. OG or Gay? I'll probably go Gay there. Simmons and LeBron or Luka and Kristaps. I think I'll still take Luka and Kristaps there, even though they're on the same team. I just really like the spot there for Dallas, so I'll take Luka and Kristaps. But yeah, any last minute questions, guys? Let's see. I think I'm rolling with Drew, Graham, Kawhi, Tobias, Bam, Furkan, Bismack. Trying to be more balanced than Stars and Scrub tonight. Yeah, I think I kind of like the more balanced approach too. With that lineup, that looks pretty solid to me. So yeah, Furkan, Kuzma, Bismack. Yeah, I do like that. Now you like Aldridge, Zubac, or Gay Montrez. Yeah, with Gay starting, I might go Gay Montrez now. I think that's a slight boost to Rudy Gay. I wouldn't go crazy about it, but I think he's a little bit more playable now. So yeah, I'll take Rudy Gay and Montrez. Trying to get over any more news we got. Let's see. Sarge over under 25 minutes. That's a tough call because Aaron Baines is back. I would probably say under. I just don't want to target those guys because I don't know what the minutes are going to be like, right? I think Sarge probably still starts, but how many minutes he gets is your guess is as good as mine. So, how do you predict Embiid or about Embiid since two of the stars out? I like Embiid a lot. I like Embiid a lot. I like Ben Simmons a lot. I like Tobias Harris a lot. I do want some exposure to those guys for sure. AD Burks versus Sabonis Mitchell. I know I asked before, but one better for cash. Yeah, so the issue with Alec Burks is he's so up and down. So that's why I think Sabonis Mitchell is probably better for cash because Alec Burks is very good one game, very bad one game. He's very more GPP viable. Brogdon, George Hill, Fournier, Davis, Biyombo, Thomas, Lamb, Bam for cash. I'm not really high on some of those guys like George Hill, Fournier. I think are okay. Lamb's okay. Not super high about some of those guys, but I think it's viable. I guess. I think Sabonis, Mitchell have more opportunity to have success tonight. I agree. I would go that route. I think Alec Burks is again a little bit more boomer bust. Any Cleveland love? Not really. Kevin Love, low on value. Um, it's worth a shot for GPPs. I definitely wouldn't do that in cash games, but yeah, it's okay for GPPs, right? But yeah, like I said, guys, whoever is going to start for Philly, I would have some interest there for value plays. So Furkan is definitely viable at 3.2K. I know he's scoring independent. He doesn't have to do a whole lot to get you there. So Philadelphia is a team you're going to want some interest in with those big three, plus with some of the value guys. So again, we got Embiid, Simmons, Tobias. I really like those guys. I think like Furkan's viable at 3.3. Like Mike Scott, even James Ennis, Thibault. Like those are guys that are playable. Even like I wonder if they'll play Jonah Bolden at all in the backup big with no Kyle O'Quinn. I don't know, but either way, there's a lot to like here on the Philadelphia side, in my opinion. Mitchell, Levine, Gay, Sabonis, Biyombo, Lamb, Bazemore, and Embiid. Yeah, I think that's doable for sure. Yeah, I don't have an issue with that. THJ, Paul, or Kobe White, Trevante Graham. Well, it depends on the Satoransky news. If Satoransky's out, obviously I'd go Kobe White and Graham. So that's a little dependent on news. Keep up the good work, man. Good luck tonight. Yeah, you too, man. Hopefully you win some money. Embiid, IT, or AD Bazemore? I'll go Embiid, IT. I really like the spot there for Joel Embiid. So yeah, give me Embiid, IT. I like AD, but I think I'm fading tonight. Yeah, I like him too. I don't currently have him, but I do like him. Embiid over Davis, that's a close call. I'm gonna say yes because of the price, right? Embiid's 9K, Davis is 10K. I like the upside in both those guys, but I'll take the 1K discount on Embiid. So yeah, give me Joel Embiid there. But yeah, we got, let's see, 4 minutes to lock. So any last minute questions, guys? I'm just trying to finalize my lineup. Again, it's a little bit tricky because that Satoransky news is pretty big. If he misses, I would really like Kobe White. So if possible, try to leave some room there. Mike Scott, Boucher, or Ursan. Of those three, I'll probably go Boucher. I think he has the most upside. It's just whether or not he gets those minutes. Like Mike Scott is very low usage guy. Yeah, give me Boucher there. Thoughts on Winslow? I don't think I want to do that with Jimmy Butler back. Again, I think those secondary pieces like Winslow, Dragic, Hero, Nunn. I think one or two of those guys have a pretty big game, but it's kind of tough to predict which one's going to be. So don't have an issue there, but I'm not super high on because it looks like Jimmy Butler's going to play. Let's see. Thoughts taking Siakam and Embiid? Yeah, that's fine. I'm not like over the moon on Siakam, but at this price, he's a guy that will probably play 40 minutes in a close game. So no issue there. And Embiid, I really like. Lou or Montrez, who more productive on the bench, more fantasy points? I mean, I'm going to take Montrez for their prices. I think Lou maybe has a little bit more upside, but Montrez is also a bit cheaper, right? Montrez is $600 cheaper. So, yeah, I'll take Montrez over Lou. It's close, but yeah. Thoughts on Bazemore, 3,200? Yeah, he's been okay. And at that price, he doesn't have to do a whole lot to get you there. So, Bazemore is a guy that's definitely viable. He's played over 20 minutes in back-to-back games at 3.2K, right? 23 and 21 minutes. He's been not so good shooting, but he's a guy that does, get the peripheral stats. Don't hate him, but I wouldn't say, yeah. I don't think he's out of play, but he's not my favorite value play for sure. I think my favorite value play is obviously Biyombo. He seems the safest. Yeah, we have the possibility of, Kobe White being a really, really good play, of Chris Dunn being a really, really good play if Satoransky's out. But yeah, we are at lock. I'll go over some ownership in the first game and some tournaments here. I only played Biyombo in the early game. Again, I assume he's probably going to be really high owned. I think he was probably the most obvious play tonight, in my opinion. Good luck. Yeah, you too, man. Let's see. Many thanks, bro. Good luck. Yeah, you too, man. Let's win some money. Big slates here. For the 14-game slate on Wednesday, and now the 12-game slate here tonight. Let's see. Ownership. Here we go. So let's look at the $55 tournament here. Biyombo is 63% owned. Again, kind of expected that. See if we can see some other ownership. Fournier, 7%. Rozier is 2%. I'm just looking at other people's lineups. Graham is 15%. I thought he was a solid play. Trying to find the Detroit guys. Don't think I'm going to get, or don't think I'm going to be able to find them. I think they're going to be pretty low owned. Bridges, 4%. Yeah, but it's basically Biyombo, right? He seemed like a really, really solid value play. And that's what I'm getting from these early games. Now, again, whoever Philly starts at the other two guys, I think would be very much viable for cheap options. We know Furkan's going to be one. We don't know who the other is going to be. But, yeah, that's why it's important to follow me on Twitter, guys. That will be in the description below. I'll get my thoughts as we get that news throughout the rest of the night. Again, the main news, or the big news kind of we're waiting on is Satoransky. If he's out, then Kobe White and Chris Dunn become very, very good plays. But yeah, I'm gonna hop off here for the night, guys. So I really appreciate all you guys coming to check out the stream. I will have a video up for the NBA slate on Saturday, and I will be live streaming for that as well. So thanks again, guys, and I will see you later.